Hello, everyone. We are so glad that you are up early and joining us this morning. My name is Karen Lantz. I live in Des Moines, Iowa, and Mike and I have been members of LifeWave now for about 10 months and absolutely love what what the patches are doing for us, and also really enjoying the income part of this business too. I love that the patches are just teaching us to make our bodies healthier. And I've always preferred a natural way of healing over some drug or pharmaceutical that's probably going to give me side effects. So I've always been a big believer in natural ways to heal our body. And so when I heard about LifeWave, to me, it was just as we say, no brainer, right? And lucky for the rest of us, David Schmidt, the owner and the inventor of LifeWave, he had the same belief and has invented so many great patches that can help our body heal in a natural way. But you know what? We have to do our part also. So what does that mean? That means, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is how we can maximize how well the patches do for us. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, you have to use them consistently. And that means every day, if that patch is designed to be used every day. For example, today we're going to talk a little bit about X39. That patch is designed to be used every day. Also, drink water. We know water is huge as far as we have to flush toxins out of our body. The water helps to do that. Water also helps to conduct electricity in our body, thus making the patches work better. If somebody is experiencing some detox symptoms, oh, Anne's got her water there. Yep, we all do.
Electrolytes, actually.
Yep.
Me too.
If somebody's experiencing a lot of detox symptoms, vitamin C helps a lot, especially if you're trying to flush out, let's say, for example, nicotine. Vitamin C is very helpful for that. We were just talking a little bit here about electrolytes. That is huge to make the patches work better. One of the ones I like very, very, very much is I like Dr. Berg's. And I ordered the raspberry lemonade from Dr. Berg's. And to me, it tastes like State Fair lemonade. It tastes great, but you're getting good things put in your body. And what I'm really, really excited about is that David Schmidt talked about he has a new, I believe it's powdered mix coming this year. And there's going to be a day formula and a night formula. And that is also going to work with our patches and make them work better. And I'm sure it will have all the great vitamins we need, the electrolytes we need. So it's just going to help it work so much better. That's, I think, exciting. And when I think about, I was reading a little more on some detox effects, and I just want to read to you a little bit of what I've been learning about this. The LifeWave patches facilitate some form of cell detoxification. And this is especially true if you're using the glutathione, the carnosine, and the eon patches. During the detox process, the body is ridding itself of waste, pollutants, heavy metals, nicotine, and all kinds of toxic substances that we have in our body. Some side effects that people could be experiencing, especially sometimes more in the beginning. Usually they're temporary and they'll go away, but your body has to get rid of the toxins that's in your body. But these are some symptoms. So if you have a new brand partner or person who's trying the patches and they're experiencing some of these symptoms, we'll talk about how to remedy that. But dry mouth, fatigue, headache is kind of a big one. I was very lucky. I didn't experience much headache, but sleepiness, nausea, metallic taste in your mouth, perhaps a runny nose, a minor rash, acne, or change in bowel habits. Those are all symptoms of detox. I've heard some people say, oh, the patch didn't work for me. It just gave me a headache. Well, that was that person's body detoxing. And I don't even think they didn't realize it. And what they should have done to remedy that is continue on the patches and drink lots of water. They should drink lots of water to flush the toxins and just try and stay as hydrated as you can. When I say lots of water, I'm talking half your body weight in water in ounces. That is what is recommended on a daily basis. Another thing that can help is probiotics and digestive enzymes in your diet, and trying to eat healthy. That always helps. And if there's a real problem with them, let's say they're breaking out, they can use the patches for a little bit less than 12 hours. So let's say somebody's breaking out quite a bit. They might want to do them 6 to 8 hours or cut back a little bit until their body adjusts to it. Detoxification discomfort occurs when the toxins mobilize faster than the body can eliminate them. In this case, use the patches for a shorter period of time. We just talked about that. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about as far as detoxing and how you can get your best results with the patches. Let's go to you next, Anne. And do you want to talk about, we're going to back up a minute here. Pam, I know you've had some good results with the patches. Do you want to give us a little testimony? Tell me what the patches have been doing for you. And I just have to introduce Pam for a minute. We knew Pam from our other business. And when she first got started on the patches, she's like, I just want to try them. I am not selling these. I'm not. Well, she got a little excited about the patches and is having some nice results. And I've got to tell you, her team is doing fantastic and it is growing like crazy. And Pam's a big part of that. She's been sharing it with people. And, she even tells me, remember when I said I didn't want to share it? Now she's sharing it. So Pam, tell us what your experience has been with the patches.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We're the people who do not want to have anything to do with any more MLMs. So it sure is turning into fun, though. She's right. We started making some money, and it's like, where is this coming from? So anyway, our story, my story, and Bill has one too that's pretty amazing. But when we first started on the patches, actually before Karen called, my chiropractor had told me he couldn't help me anymore with my knee pain. I was headed for knee replacement surgery. And God works in such awesome ways. Karen calls and says, we've got this patch. And I'm going, oh, I don't know. So we tried them. And that is the first major thing that happened was my knee pain went away. Every 3 weeks, I was with the chiropractor, keeping the pain under control. He's sad that I'm not coming anymore, but I'm glad. So anyway, that was the main thing. And because of that, I'm a bus driver. And so I'm always squatting down and standing up, checking out my bus and that kind of stuff. And I used to just have to bend over as far as I could, but now I can squat. So that's pretty cool. But all the other things, I sleep better. My balance is better. I can stand up to put my pants on. I don't have to stay sat down, and I don't fall over anymore. So those things are huge to me. I was not a one patch wonder, but the things that have happened in the last 9 months since I have been on the patches has been amazing. Less back pain. I look different. My girlfriends are telling me my hair looks great. Lost some of my chin. So thankful. Didn't like having 2 of those. But I have more energy, last longer at my jobs without being exhausted. So it's been a really great experience for us, honey. Share your scar.
So we didn't know this at first because we didn't do any before and after pictures, but I've been on the patch for I think 7 months now. I've got a scar on my stomach that I had an operation when I was 2 months old. And that scar is just over the years, of course, it's been there 69 years, and it's big. It was really big. It was like 5 inches long and maybe a ½ inch deep. It was really, you could really see it. Well, I was looking in the mirror one day and I'm like, oh my gosh, because that scar is now maybe 3 inches long and a 1/4 inch deep. It's huge. And my son, he noticed it one day and he says, Dad, what's up with that scar? It's almost gone. So, you know, that's amazing.
That's awesome, guys. I'm so glad you've had good results with the patches, and it just makes it so much easier to share it, doesn't it? Because you know that it's helping your health, and you want to be able to help other people because, I mean, let's face it, I feel like anybody over 40 years old, there's something going on in their body that we can help them with. And we know that stem cells start dying off at an earlier age, and we want to all grow old gracefully. And this is the way we can do it. So thanks for sharing, you guys. I'm just going to share a little bit of what X39 has done for me and for Mike. Mike, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna, I forgot to tell you yesterday when I went in
Michael?
for my follow-up
I can't.
meeting, they did my blood pressure and it's down to 109/70. So it's come down dramatically and I was fighting getting it down below 140. I was in the upper 140s, lower 150s. The only thing I've changed now is just a patch.
Yes. And you've had 3 times at the doctor's office where you've had your blood pressure in the normal range. And he's been on blood pressure medication for what, 5 or 6 years. And now, after being on the patch for a while, he's got normal blood pressure.
I'm gonna start cutting back on lisinopril.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good. That's good. What X39 has done for me is even last summer, one of my partners actually signed up in LifeWave because she could tell a difference in me. She could tell a difference in my energy level. I definitely feel so much more alert, and I just feel like my brain is working better. I've had another friend say to me, she hadn't seen me for 3 or 4 months, and she could tell a difference in my skin. Sometimes when we're looking in the mirror every day, we don't see it. But sometimes when other people haven't seen you for a while, and she had commented on how good my skin looked at the time, and she also signed up in LifeWave. I want to also talk about, just for a minute, I go to a chiropractor every single week because I have scoliosis. And in December, a year ago, that's when I started going to this chiropractor, and they took x-rays of my back. So we have x-rays to start. Fast forward a year later, they took x-rays again 1 year after. And for those of you who don't know what scoliosis is, basically your spine is kind of an S curve. What they're trying to do is they're trying to straighten it. Now, if this had happened to a much younger person, they probably would put rods. Sometimes they used to put rods in your back and things like that. Well, I want no part of that. They adjust me every week. They measure the angles of all the curves in your back. And some of the angles have improved by as much as 25% in a year. And I looked at it and I was like, I asked the doctor, I said, is this good? And he goes, yeah, this is really good. And I told him, I said, well, I will attribute that to the chiropractor and coming here every week. But also, I believe it's because of X39 too. So I'm constantly telling them about it and trying to get them to take a look at it. It's a large group of 9 chiropractors, but they also sell stem cell injections. So I think they see it as a competition or a threat, but I'm still working on it. Anyway, it's been great for me. Anne, let's go to you and let's do some little business building tips. And do you want to talk about, make sure everybody knows if they're signing up a new brand partner, how to do it on a right leg, left leg? Why is that important? And I'll just let you take it from here.
Awesome. I'm going to actually start with X39 because that's the order I have my little list here.
All right.
That's okay. Okay. So Karen asked me to speak on the X39. And so like I do with everything, I dug into it more than just the piece of paper that we always use. So here's the X39, how it comes. And it comes in this package. And the X39 and the X49 both come inside, and it allows them to give us a little bit of information there. But also the X39 has the 2 pouches, but it's not used, the front and the back, because that's for all the patches that have 2 two patches, a brown and a white. So we get 30 of those, and that is for 1 month. And when we share these, we should know exactly what these patches do. Like all those bullet points, which we have heard forever and ever. We should know these things, but it's not really always good to let the people know that we know everything, because if we use a visual, people can see the visual. I think 70% of us learn through visual versus audio. Audio, if I'm just hearing something, it kind of goes in, but just a little bit stays. But giving somebody a visual is going to help them retain the information more. So I have these cards off of Evolve website, but it also makes me sound a little more intelligent on the phone if I have a source. The other source, which I'll show you in a minute, is if your method of operation is to have a binder, which I would highly suggest, even if it isn't your method of operation, I'll show you where you can print off all the patches and have that available to you. So when you're on the phone, you can flip to that. So whatever you need, find out, have these resources on the phone. If you're with somebody, then it's great to have these pieces of cardboard. They're small, they can go in your purse, but at least you can show them what is all in the patch. Okay, so I will go over these things that we have heard many times. When I'm at a trade show, my banner has these different things, and I'm constantly pointing to that again because I want that visual. I want the person to see, oh, wound healing, oh, recovery. So the things is fast pain relief, and we all probably experienced that. Reduction in inflammation, supports wound healing. So the wound, even if it's a scar from the past, we know that the X39 is going to help that. So what happens with this X39 is that, like, especially for the wounds, is that here's the book from Lauren Picard. And I also have this at my booth all the time because this is another visual for people. So Lauren Picard in 1973 figured out that inside the cell, the stem cell, are copper peptides. And that was a huge discovery for the world. And then David just took that one step further. He figured out how to regenerate the copper peptides in there. And I look at the cell, and I'm running, and I'm like really tired because I'm this age. And like I often say, clean up on aisle 4, and these stem cells are like, we're coming. And then when we get there, like, oh, I'm so tired. So it just takes so long for a wound to heal. But with the X39, now we're like, okay, here we come. Okay, blah, 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 fix all those things. So that's what I picture in my head when I think of these cells going on inside me. So it's pretty amazing. And if you're a nerd, then you buy this book, and it's incredible. And then you highlight every other paragraph and stuff. So I haven't gone all the way through it, but I'm really not a reader. I'm a audio person. But I also like the visual, so I can be seeing this, but I prefer to listen to things as I'm driving in the car. So I do like having that resource, and I like having that information. Okay, so then with this rapid wound healing, I just envision these little active cells now inside me. Vitality and energy, I have a lot anyway. I think I'm good at that, but a lot of people say that. Mental clarity, I'm still working on that one. I had so much inside me that had to be repaired that I think we're working on that one yet. Memory has not been my gift forever. I'm a pianist, and I would have to memorize these pieces for college and for jury, and I couldn't do it. I never could do that. And so I think there's something wrong with me. I think there's just a block in my memory forever. And of course, as I get older, I forget things. Enhancing sports performance. This is awesome because the people, everybody wants more energy, and then recovery faster from exercising. I definitely have experienced that because when I went back to the gym after COVID, there was no reason that I could pump iron more than I was, pre-COVID. And I remember the first day I went back, I had a trainer, and I'm like, just pumping through like whatever he gave me. I'm like, let's just up this. And we added like 100 pounds of me pushing on my legs. And I can only give the credit to the LifeWave patches. And then improved skin. This is my biggest one. I talk about how my face looks so different than it did a year ago. And if my, like I said last week, if my outside looks better, then my insides are a lot better. So where do we find this information? On our website, we have this tab that Karen showed us last week under resources, and you want to go to this tab, then under product trading guide, and then English, European English. Here's our product trading guide, and I would suggest printing this off and putting this in the binder. Here, it's going to tell us all about the patches, everything we want. So the things I just read are on here. So you could read that or just know these things. And then the placement of where it goes. So I also have a card that I bought a long time ago that shows the placement of the patches, which you see here. And that's a big deal. That's another one of those visuals where we wear this. And make sure we tell people that they wear one patch only, because I have had people tell me after 2 weeks their patches are gone. And then we discussed that, oh, we only wear one. So we put that behind her neck. That is C7. That's one acupressure point that I do know well. That's cervical 7. And underneath it is governing vessel 14. Those two I know now. So we actually find the lump behind our neck. And then there's a little, the vessel, the governing vessel right below it. That's where we put it. But it's not a huge deal, because if we get it exactly on, if I was an acupuncturist, then I need to get to that point exactly. But because we have a large area of white, then that place is, it's okay if you're near the area. And then below the belly button, 2 fingers below the belly button. And how important is it to have it in those spots? Not super important, but it's just a suggestion. And one of the reasons, as we all know, is that because during the clinical studies, they only had 2 choices of where to put that, because then they could be consistent. So if somebody has a problem reaching to the back of their neck, that might be hard for them at this point, then they wear it below the belly button. Otherwise, it does not matter. It is systemic, and it will go to where your body asks for it. Like I said, clean up on all 4. It's just going to go wherever that cleanup needs to go for that day. By the belly button, it's near your umbilical cord, because imagine that was our whole life. All our nutrients came from our umbilical cord, and that's right by that belly button. So there's another highway there, and by your neck, there's a highway of nerves that could just go through the body. You could also put it anywhere you want. If you have a sore somewhere, sore shoulder or wherever, you're going to put it in that spot, and it is fine. Don't worry. Where you want to put it, it's fine. Get that on. So that is where you can find all the patches, the information on all the patches. So you want to download that. I would suggest downloading that. So then the other thing that's very interesting for the patches are these studies way at the bottom. So I'm back on resources, on that resource tab, way to the bottom, studies. Now, some people need studies, some people don't need studies. At least you know where to find them, and look at all these studies available to us. So you click on one of those studies, and there it is. Nice and boring if you don't care about studies, but there it is if you want it. So what's probably a little more interesting, where I went into depth last night, was these names right here. They mean nothing to me if we don't know anything about these people. They have a lot of letters behind their name, and so we're assuming they have studied a lot and they know a lot. So I can trust that. I heard Emily Wilson mention on one of her Zooms that she said, I don't know how my cell phone works. I don't care. I just use it. But all of a sudden, with these patches, people want to know how they work. They can't just put them on. Suddenly we are people that need to know a lot, yet we use these devices. And I will say that putting your phone up to your ear or wearing wireless earbuds, you never should do that. Always have the wired ones, causes more harm to our body, to our brain, than putting a patch. A patch is going to be good for us, whereas the phone, that we don't care how it works, causes not good things for our body. So back to these people. I went and looked deeper into these people. So I Googled LifeWave X39 and I got this video and I watched this video, this 1-hour video. And here is Melinda Connor, the person that was right there, Melinda Connor. All those little letters there. David gave a beautiful introduction on this woman. She is incredible. She loves LifeWave patches. So when we listen to these two, we're watching a tennis match of complete nerds in the sense of like, they were just saying all these really deep science things, you know, over my head, but I was just loving it because they were so excited. They're both excited. And Melinda particularly is excited about what's going on here. So she is part of these studies. And the reason that's important to me, why I dug deeper, is because if a doctor or somebody online is telling you something is not good, or this is how you do something, but David might say a contrary thing to it, I'm actually going to believe David or this Melinda because they are in the lab. They are doing the research versus somebody online read something about something. And so I give David more credit than somebody who has probably studied out of a book. Many doctors do the research, yes, but I'm really changing my view on credibility of people. So this was a very, very interesting 2.5-year-old video, but just as pertinent, and they're talking about X39, the beauty of that. In that conversation, they talked about her daughter, which was another incredible person. So back to this thing here. Here's Caitlin Connor. And Caitlin Connor was actually at one of our events. And so this is her. She is incredible. She is so young. And she actually did a 40, something on the X49 here. But so these are the people who are doing the research for us. These are the people who are doing the studies. And suddenly the credibility of these studies was just a lot deeper for me. So the people doing these studies are amazingly intelligent, and they are loving this. So then now these studies, these boring studies on a piece of paper, like this didn't mean much to me, but now I know these two people a little bit because I read about them. So that was great. So I also typed in clinical studies on the X39, and then all these things came up, and you can also look for that. If that's not your gig to have to know all these things, you might have somebody who needs to know how everything works, and you can send them to the internet and they can find that. Many people like to have a double-blind testing study. So here is one of those, and this again came from that resource page under studies. Again, look at here, these people. Here's Caitlin and Melinda O'Connor. Now, again, this means a lot more to me. Then I wanted to put in a little plug for our Team Celebrate YouTube channel here. You know, go to YouTube and type in Team Celebrate. Make sure you spell it C-E-L-L. These talks that I'm so thrilled that Karen and Mike are doing are on here. Here's last week's talk, and it'll always say Saturday Training Tools. And then I put the name, the date on there, and then I have a little description so it can tell a little bit different things. And then the only one I wanted to bring up is the Let's Get Started, which I put on a long time ago, but I watched it again yesterday. It goes through a lot of the things that Karen talked and Mike talked about last week. It's just that beginning things along the website. Just wanted to remind you that those things are there. So now I'll switch and talk about the left and right position. So up by your name, it can be on homepage or wherever, your name is always up here. So you click on the little arrow and you go to change settings. And you scroll way down, put your picture in there, because I always like to see when I'm looking at my binary tree, if there's a picture in there, I love it. I can attach a picture there. All right, so here's this binary placement. When you want to sign somebody on, you always want to know where you want to put them. So you've got your tree, your left and your right side. And if you're going to click here, that person's going to go on your left side. And you don't, once you click here, you don't have to like save or anything. You can see that this little message came up, your binary tree has been updated. So I only use these two, left and right. And I asked them what strong leg meant outside. They didn't really know, so we don't have to. I right now build right constantly because my left side is so large that my right side needs more help. So I just leave it on that. Okay, so staying active. Here's our binary tree. So you hover over and you can see my left volume is way a lot. That's literally $50,000 of points on my left side. And my right side, I'm working on that one. And this business volume right there that we're seeing, if you hover over your name, you'll see that you've got this right leg volume, your left leg volume. And I'm actually going to go back to the home page. So my rank, presidential director, they always have your rank up there. That is the second one from the top. And it's taken me forever to get to senior presidential director. Good grief. Long, long time. And then we've got rolling 31-day PV. So when you order some products, then that's going to show up right there. And then a month later, that's going to go down to your weakest side. So it goes to my right volume, that rolling one. So period left volume, this is how much per week my left leg is doing. Can't wait till my right leg is there. My right leg actually needs half. And so here's my right leg volume this week. And then total volume, this is everything I have. And then this is total volume of my right leg. So sometimes there's something left because this is where they take those cycles off, left and right volume. So they take 660 off of this one and they take 330 off of this one. Left volume, my strong leg is your strong leg. And then the other one is your profit leg, they call it, because that's the one that's going to give you the profit. You're going to pull those points off of that one. And so when you get 1,980 points per week, that's 6 cycles, and those cycles pay you $50. And so this is 6 cycles at this point. I would like it, of course, at 10. Some people below me get 20 to 40 cycles a week. That's awesome. That somebody below me can make more money than I do. That's fantastic. That shows that we are not a pyramid, because that does come up. In a pyramid, the person below you cannot make more than you. And life is a pyramid. Every person, much every job, there's the people at the top. So I dispel that pyramid talk quite quickly. I will call this a triangle. Yes, we have this binary tree view. We are a triangle, but it is not a pyramid. I shoot that one down
And
pretty quickly.
this is what it looks like when you have a runaway leg. And I believe, when Anne started a little over a year ago, she started just like everybody else, just sharing it with people she knew. And lo and behold, we never know who our friends know, who they know, and who they know. And this is what can happen. There's been some people come into that side of her business that I guess we call them influencers, and they know a lot of people. This is what it looks like. So let's hope we all get influencers in each leg of our business, right, Anne?
Yeah. And I knew that was going on because I chose to put my Team National people on my left side. At one point, I probably should have broken them up, but I didn't. It would be like, oh, that person's coming in. I want to work with them. And so we have that. However, you know what? My right side's doing fantastic right now. And it's my goal to just make that. Of course, I only need half of what them. So my goal is to get like 8,000 a week or more, because then that's just going to keep that flush. And I might never use these. These points last a year, and they do go away after a year. However, when they pull the points from the 660, they're going to pull this from a year ago. And if I do lose some of these points, it's okay. It's just the way that it has gone. And I'm thrilled to be making what I'm making at this point. I do have one little testimony from this morning that I want to share. Not X39. I hurt my back yesterday. And I did put Ice Wave on left and right, and it didn't really do it. And then I remembered a trick that I had done with Tim when he sprained a muscle, because I'm thinking, okay, this is muscle. Got it out of my magic book here. And I want you to remember the ACT, the word ACT, Eon, Carnosine, and Tan Ice Wave. If we stack those 3 on top of each other, ACT, they like instantly take your muscle pain away. So I put that on my back this morning and my pain is gone. So I had a strained backache. So remember ACT. I love it. I suffered all day yesterday. I know what's one of these things is going to help me. And then finally this morning, I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So that's my tip for the day on ACT, Eon, Carnazate, and Tan Ice Wave.
I think you covered it so well, Anne. Thank you so much. And you did just an awesome job. Mike, did you want to add a comment on what Anne has shared?
Great, Karen. And you were awesome today. Good job. There, learned a lot. Learned a lot.
And
Okay,
I learned
and
a
really
lot.
love-
I learned a lot having to go deeper, because when somebody asks you to do something, you're like, oh, okay, what am I going to talk about? So it's an honor to be asked, because then you learn something more about that. And for me to do those studies and have those people that I didn't even know about, now I it's just a lot more credibility. So thanks for asking me.
You
And I got
bet.
to share with you what you really got me is you did what you needed to do to get your belief level to the point where you felt comfortable and you knew this was going to be big and you started referring it. You dug as deep as you need to, and you probably dug deeper just with your personality being melancholy. You dug real deep and got into the studies, and that's really good idea. But everybody on here, my point is to talk about consistency. People have to have a belief that they can reach that they can do this just like everybody else that's having success. And that's a belief in the product. It's no different than with the other company, guys. You have to have a belief in the product, a belief in the company, and then a belief in yourself that you can do this, okay, and the marketing plan. And you did what's necessary. All of us on here have to do the same thing if we want to take this to the levels that all of us can on here, okay? And you got to have a belief. Like Pam, for instance, you had to get that belief in the product, didn't you? Okay, and you got that, and you started saying, you know what, this is doing some things for me. So you started sharing it. Now you're at the level where I think your belief is beginning to grow and saying, hey, maybe this thing's real, and I can take this income to a much different level. Okay, and that's causing you to be more consistent. So belief is so important. And each of us on here have to get your belief up. But guys, I'm going to share with you, I think this company is so strong because it's in the momentum stage, huge momentum stage all over the world, guys, because of the X39. X39 is still very, very young. It's only been around for 3 to 4 years now. We have a product that you cannot buy anywhere else in the world. We got a marketing plan that's phenomenal. So we got an opportunity here, guys, to take something, build it big. Again, thank you, Anne, for sharing really about belief is what made me, and belief is such a big, important part of being consistent, because you're not going to be consistent until you really believe in what you got your hands on. Okay. So thanks a lot for sharing today.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. One last thing that I want to cover today is, how do you learn about the patches? How do you get your belief in the patches? And I know Anne is melancholy personality, as am I. And when I first got started, everybody wants to learn, and it's such a new technology that we've never experienced before. That's the beauty of it. It's so unique. It's not like another shake or another vitamin or anything like that. I love that. I want to help people know where they can get connected to the groups to learn and just learn about the patches. So I'm going to give you a few ideas on that. First thing is the Facebook groups. Anne showed you our Team Celebrate Facebook group. If you sign up a new brand partner, first of all, you should be a member of that group, because then you'll get notices of meetings, things like that. You'll just be able to stay up to date. The Zoom meetings are out there, just lots of learning. If you sign up a new brand partner, invite them so that they can be a member of that group also. Another Facebook group that is fabulous, and it's hosted by Renita Brennan. Renita is our upline. She has been a health coach for 20 years. I'll tell you what, this woman knows LifeWave. She's at the top level of LifeWave, and she knows health and nutrition. So she's always posting great things on Facebook. And she has a group called Wellness Warriors health/wealth. So that group, you need to request to be a member. Both of these are closed Facebook groups, but awesome information in there. And what I like to do with the LifeWave Wellness Warriors group, there's a little magnifying glass up at the top. So when somebody says to me, well, what do I do for like arthritis? Or how do I patch for a certain symptom they are having? I'll put it in that Facebook group, and I like to see what how other people are patching for that particular symptom. That's how you kind of learn how to use the patches too. Of course, this Saturday morning, we're trying to cover, just information that can help everybody learn and to do the business better if you do want to share it as a business. We send our notices in Constant Contact, and they'll also be on the Team Celebrate Facebook page. We all get notices from Steve and Gina Merritt. We get text messages and emails from them every single day. If you find that that's of no benefit to you or you don't want to get those, just opt out of getting those. So then you won't get them anymore. I find them very valuable, even if you don't want to get on that particular day. If you scroll down, there's a lot of recorded videos on there. And you can pick the people that you connect with better, listen to their videos, listen to how they're doing, maybe a presentation. I guarantee you will pick up something. Another one of my favorites is to go to YouTube. I might just put in the search bar LifeWave and a topic. Like, let's say I want to learn about X49. Videos come up all about that. One of my favorite speakers is Dr. Stacy Hallweger. It's Holweger. She's with the Evolve team. She is a naturopath doctor. And I love listening to her information because she just gives pure patch information about the patches. And I learn a lot from her. The LifeWave Connect videos, which are twice a month. Oftentimes David Schmidt is talking on those. Sometimes I'll have doctors on there. I think Ann pulled one of those up. So there's so many great resources to be able to learn about the patches and stay connected with the group. So if you want to build this as a business, or maybe you just want to learn how to use the patches for you and your family, lots of resources to do that. So
I have all that information, LifeWave links on a piece of paper. I will put this on
the Team Celebrate,
the Facebook.
Can we put it on? Thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. And hope everybody has a great Saturday and a great week. And call us if you have questions. And we'll see you next Saturday.